जिस देश में प्रधानमंत्री सुरक्षित नहीं है, वहां अपनी सुरक्षा की जिम्मेदारी हमें खुद उठानी पड़ेगी।
Hotstar Specials Grahan, a mystery drama starring Pawan Malhotra and Zoya Hussain, is streaming now on Disney Plus Hotstar VIP. The 8th episode Hotstar Specials is about a young IPS officer who's handed over a special investigation from the past, only to discover her father in the center of this case. Hello and welcome to Behind the Mix. To talk about this exciting new series, I have the talented team behind Hotstar Specials Grahan. We have the director, Ranjan Chandel, the director of photography, Kamaljeet Negi, colorist, Kiran Kumar Kota, re-recording mixer, Vishnu Das.
Hi everyone.
Re-recording mixer, Justin Thomas.
Hello. Hi everyone.
And sound designer, Allwin, Rego.
Hello. Hi.
Congratulations on the release of Hotstar Specials Grahan. And this, remember, streaming on Disney Hotstar VIP. So Grahan is releasing on Dolby Vision on Disney Plus Hotstar VIP. Did you decide at the pre-production stage itself that the series will be in Dolby Vision? Any specific thoughts around this?
While we were prepping for the shoot of Grahan, so the kind of conversation that we had with Kamalji and before sound designing with Allwin, so the important things that we had in our mind, like our story has, in terms of, timeline, it has two different era, which has a difference of 30 years. Like one timeline of the show belongs to the 80s, 1980s, and the other timeline belongs to the modern time. So the kind of colors that we had to choose in the modern time, because the modern time story is a complex story in terms of interpersonal relationship and equations. So we had to choose those kind of colors. We had to capture those images accordingly. And on the contrary, the story that we have in 80s, that has a clear contrast from the modern time. The characters that we have in 80s are much more simpler. The story has the emotions which are much more simpler, much more organic. So we had to choose those kind of colors and capture those images in a way that it can bring out that quality. Things which we had in our mind, and we consciously chose the technology which can bring the best output.
Right.
Yeah.
Kamalji, so here you have a vision and what you want to achieve. And here you have the technology, which is Dolby Vision, which can make it happen for you. So what extra effort as the DOP did you have to put while filming to see that all these scenes translated into a premium entertainment experience for Disney Plus Hotstar VIP viewers? Any examples you have in mind?
Right. For me, Dolby Vision, the term Dolby Vision came as something which was first time I was going to be using, something new. Because Dolby is, for me, has always been sound. So when they said Dolby Vision, it has to be, as per Dolby Vision. That was something which made me get into it and to find out what is Dolby Vision and why. So we figured out that it's going to give us better picture quality, the rendition of colors. The spectrum is going to be bigger for the viewers on television. So and that was going to help me to bring the contrast, the colors which we were going to portray from different eras. There are sequences where it's going to be very dark and it's going to be lit up with a ball of fire. So that contrast within a shot, from just being black to really, really bright, So I think that is the good test which we were going to test actually by doing these scenes. So and when because fire is something which you cannot really control in the sense the brightness of it. With Dolby Vision, the technology, we were going to get the maximum benefit of that range which we were going to be shooting in. So it was kind of a advantages for us to get Dolby Vision for us, you know.
We are glad to have Dolby Vision technology in our workflow because the color reproduction is more intact so that we could play around creatively as much as we can. Dolby Vision technology definitely give a good viewing experience to the audience. It is a new era of storytelling. Basically, in this show, we created two different looks for the present and the past, and also some more looks for the flashback. Especially for the past sequence, I used two couple of the LUTs and film grinds to bring that the tonal effect. This tone was enhanced a lot due to the Dolby Vision. Even the present sequence, we graded natural tone. Watching high dynamic range in 1008 brightness looks really awesome. All the colors and the luminance values are looking so natural and feeling like we are in the scene. As I said, particularly for the past sequence, whatever efforts we made can't be reached to the audience without Dolby Vision.
Right. Justin and Vishnu Das, both of them are mixed engineers. So, Justin, when you get, the content that's been shot with a particular vision of the director in mind, and you've got two eras, and when you sit down to mix it, how easy was it? How difficult was it? And what did you particularly like about this technology?
Basically, in Dolby Atmos, we have a lot of space is there. So we can play a lot of elements within that, and we get more feel in that, and we can tell the story through that. Dolby Atmos, what we are seeing, the Atmos having a more dynamics thing we can do on that. So we get more feel, and we can play through that feel, and we can tell the story through that. That is the main benefit of Dolby Atmos while I'm mixing this episode.
Basically, in the Grahan there was the space for sound. When I watched, and there was two timelines. As a mixing, which have a big sound with space for the sound. I used a lot of experimented many processing. We can do a lot of pannings. It's like, and one of the main advantage is that the translation from the Dolby Atmos to the binaural thing. So if somebody is watching with a headphone in a mobile phone, also with a Dolby enabled device, that translation, that bigness, everything is correct.
Right. So, Ranjan, how much of these the cell phone viewers, the small screen viewers, were in your mind when you were making this?
Not really. I did not think about big screen or small screen viewer. Like from the very beginning, in terms of uh, color palette or in terms of soundscape, we had a vision that we have to make this show cinematic. तो ये कहीं भी हमारे दिमाग में नहीं था कि this is going to release on a small screen or not in theaters. In my mind, and I think all of us treated it very cinematically, so that no matter which screen the audience is watching, they can have the best experience. So that was the single-minded focus from the beginning only, and to the kind of cinematic treatment that we wanted. I think that Dolby video and Dolby sound made it possible.
And I always refer to directors, artists who set out with a particular vision. The final output, are you happy?
I'm very happy. It was delight to collaborate with Dolby and the kind of output that we got.
Allwin, Ranjan did talk about the different sound treatments a little while earlier. Would like to have your inputs on how this translated.
Yeah, hi Karma. This show, this Hotstar special Grahan, is a really nice one because it spans two timelines largely. It has the 80s, the early 80s, and it has the current timeline. There was a proper distinction in the two timelines in terms of the soundscaping. We used a lot of source music. I mean, that was like a clear placeholder to kind of define the time. You know, like in the 80s, movies like Hero had released. So we use that to kind of signify and show the time zone that we are in. You know, as a sound design team, we had to constantly keep the pulse going so that you don't drop out. You know, and like there are so many subplots which open up, and every episode has a subplot. Every episode has a high where it ends. So you have to justify that and get the audience to that point, you know, whether it's with music or whether it's with no sound at all, just the silence which will create that suspense and that drama. Yeah, and I think Atmos is a great tool for whatever we did in this project in particular because Atmos gives you a big scape to play with. You know, traditionally we were working in stereo and 5.1, and now suddenly we have this whole technical system which is like all around sound, all around you. You know, I mean, it's something that we've been prepping up for all these years, I would say, and now finally we're getting to utilize it. All the ideas, the thoughts that we had. It's beautiful because you can place sounds and create an illusion of sound coming from a particular angle, create illusionary sounds, you know, in that sense. Because the 80s had like we spoke earlier, the factory plays a big part in the show. So the factory siren plays a big part. So the siren is an indicator of the shifts that workers would go to at work, you know, and you would hear it. So with Atmos, we were playing it on the overhead speakers. So there is this, like you feel like you're part of that small city, like the audio is like that in that sense. Yeah.
Right. And always power of silence.
Yes.
I kind of really like that because silence can be a powerful element. Let's talk about the other very important aspect for audio, and I'd just like to focus on that, which is the Foley. And if you could put light on how it was created for Hotstar specials, go ahead.
Sure. So, like, I mean, I would like to start with my team. I'll have to, I mean, it's just not the Foley, it starts with Saman. Saman is my location recordist who was there on this show. Saman captured great sound because for a great show, you need to have great sound. The source material has to be very, very correct, very banging. And Saman got us great sound considering they shot in a pandemic in a bubble. You know, I mean, the constraints were very high on this one, but the team was, I mean, the team was great. The team was, they just did a great job. So Saman, the material would come to me. Then I had Girish who did the Foley for us. So also in my team there is Bulganin who is my sound editor, and a lot of the sound editing along with the Foley, it happens. I mean, we do the Foley, but we get it back to the studio and we sit on it again, and we recreate whatever we need to. If I need to create intensity on certain sounds, if I don't have it in a Foley studio, I will use it from a library. I will sit and cut it. So Bulganin and Imran, this is my team. Like these guys have sat and cut it because there's a lot of fire in the show. Like everyone is talking about. You know, it has to be justified. Like the riots are big. Also, it's a big soundscape. This show. So there's a lot of sound. So that's where Vishnu and Justin come in, where the selective choice of sound. You know, I mean, there's so many things because it's an ensemble show in that sense. So getting the right narrative flow is like of utmost importance, and I think we have somewhere achieved that. I believe with
Right.
yeah.
Would like to get a little technical here now. Although the recording was done on Atmos, it'll go out to audiences in Dolby Audio. But would you agree, and why, that the audience will get the same experience?
So basically, working like Vishnu mentioned, when you mix in Atmos, the fold down is like it's really good. So the binaural fold down is great. So someone who's using this and watching the show on headphones is going to have a very, very good experience. As much like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's an Atmos experience, but it's very close to that because binaural audio is of that nature. And yeah, and the fold down in stereo also is great with regards to Dolby Atmos. So I think the experience is going to be good because Atmos lets you that precision of sound that you can do. You know, like it's very precise. Your pans and your placements, it's very good.
Yeah.
Right, and thanks to the technology today, because we have TVs and smartphones and tabs that do deliver the quality of Dolby Vision, which are enabled with Dolby Vision and do deliver the quality that the consumer has and consumer wants. In fact, displays with Dolby Vision deliver a more vivid, lifelike images. Highlights are 40 times brighter, and what has been very intriguing and interesting to me is what we keep saying, that blacks are 10 times more darker than a standard picture. Allwin, you'd like to come in on the sound bit?
The user experience is basically a product of our journey collectively as a team, and Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision are technologies which have just aided it and made it better. So I'm sure that it will be a great experience because we had a great time doing what we did on the show. I mean, it was in the pandemic and things were raging. Ranjan sir and we know how we finalized our mixes, I mean, initially we started mixing and then there was this whole absence of physical interaction back again, like the second wave of the pandemic, So I'm saying we had fun. And even in all of this, we were just trying to find the joy. So the joy will translate because we've done it in all its purity and we have had technology to aid us in this journey. Because Atmos is a fantastic technology and using that to reach where we reach as an end result is a great thing. Yeah.
Right. With that, we come to the end of this show. Thank you all for your time today. For the next level entertainment experience, I'd like to request you all to subscribe to Disney Plus Hotstar VIP and watch Hotstar specials Grahan in Dolby Vision and Dolby Audio. That's all from team behind the mix.
अब हम आपसे कोई इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर नहीं कर सकते।
मेरी जगह होते तो क्या करते?
ड्यूटी करता मैम।
इतने सालों से जो बात छिपा रखी है उसको इस तरह सामने नहीं आने दे सकते।
क्या है जो आप नहीं बता पा रहे हो पापा?
Hotstar Specials presents Grahan, now streaming.